Get ready for Real Talk with Cindy Barber, where creativity, purpose, and innovation collide. Join national award-winning recording artists, musicians, producers, pastors, prophets, and entrepreneurs as they share bold ideas, new skills, and cutting-edge technology. Created to inspire and empower local artists and visionaries, Real Talk challenges you to grow, create, and discover what's next. This is more than a conversation. It's a movement. Real Talk with Cindy Barber, a pioneer in the gospel music industry with over 50 years of experience, where purpose meets possibility and influence. Tune in now for Real Talk with Cindy Barber.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. So delighted to see you coming on. I see you coming on, Robin Taylor from Windsor, Connecticut. Good to see you, my YouTube viewers. God bless you. We are live on YouTube, cindybarber.tv, or my Facebook page, which is Real Talk with Cindy. So I'm so glad to see you. Please let me know city, state, or country in which you are joining us from on tonight. And so glad to see everyone. I see you coming on. Connecticut is definitely in the house. Good to see you, Cousin Kelly. Thank you so much for coming on. Please let us know city, state, or country where you are joining us from on tonight. Also, if you would like to have an event on this platform for me to advertise on this platform, please DM me on my Facebook page or send an email to ms.cindybarber@gmail.com. I would be delighted to have you to be able to add or put on your business, whatever you may have, your church event or whatever, so we can advertise and you can get some support. Appreciate everyone coming on. Also, this year, I am celebrating 6 years of Real Talk with Cindy, shown on Facebook. If you would like to sow a seed, which many of you have done so, I'm just asking to sow a seed of $6. So if you would like to do that, I would appreciate it. You can send it to my Cash App, which is $Cindy's Keys, $Cindy's Keys, and that's $6 to sow into this ministry. I greatly appreciate it. 6 years, that's a long time. That's a long time, but God has been good. I've had some amazing guests on this show, and I look forward to my guests that are with me on tonight. They are ready, and I'm going to bring them on in a minute. Please share and tag. Let others know that we are here, and we're getting ready to start this show on tonight as I welcome my guests that are here. Welcome, 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 guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. How y'all doing tonight? Hey. Good to see you. I'm so appreciative of you all being here tonight. We have so much to discuss as young entrepreneurs. I'm so excited. Each one of you all, God has really blessed you with tremendous talents and gifts, and we're going to share, and we want you all to be an inspiration to others that are watching and that will watch the replay that will be coming on. So I'm excited to get into this discussion with you on tonight. So we're going to start with Minister Bernard Marrow, who is from Chicago by way of Philadelphia. I met him some years ago. Bernard, welcome, and happy to have you with me on tonight.
I am so honored to be on Miss Cindy Barber's show. As she expressed, we've met a few years ago, some years ago. She invited me to come play drums for her and her group, and it's been a blessing ever since, just being connected.
Yes, and I thank you so much for that. So I'm going to ask each one of you, and Bernard, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Please tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business, and I have some other questions for you as well.
Okay, yeah. So I am originally from Philadelphia, PA. Yeah, Philly. You know, born and raised. I was in Philly my whole life up until age 33. I was born in Jefferson Hospital, and I met my wife in 2019. But I grew up in a Baptist church in Philadelphia, PA, New Salem Baptist Church. Shout out to NSBC. Thank God for them. Love and miss them all. And me and my wife met. She was in Illinois. I was in PA in Philly. and she didn't want to move to Philly, so I moved out here.
Right.
So I moved to the state of Illinois in November 2019. November this year will be 7 years. So
Okay.
the transition, God has blessed me tremendously. I started out in culinary. I was in culinary for 14 and a half years doing food service, and then eventually working my way up. I became a sous chef, and then eventually as executive chef. I worked for the Philadelphia 76ers for one season. I cooked their meals before and after the game. And then fast forward, when I moved to Illinois, I am now blessed by God to be the founder and president of our Faith We Go Ministry Incorporated. It is a 501c3 faith-based nonprofit organization where we focus on spreading the loving gospel of Jesus Christ, giving back to communities, feeding families in need, and sowing into the purpose of others.
Wow.
And I'm also the owner and CEO of Shop BFWG LLC. It is custom t-shirt and apparel printing. And additionally, singer, songwriter, musician, and author. So just grateful for all that God has blessed me to do thus far. And it resurfaced. So, I recently just launched a brand new catering company. We've been feeding families in need every single month, all year, every year, at local family shelters. And,
that's
nice.
It's
a gift that God has given me. And I felt like it was resurfacing, and it did. And here we are.
That's good. I'm excited. Yeah.
As well.
Yes. And I've seen some of your videos too with your food and how you prepare. You're an excellent chef. Really good. Really good. So thank you for that. And we're going to go on to Denise Jackson, who I've known since she was young. Not saying that she's old, but young. And so Denise, she's in Columbia, South Carolina. So please share what you do. I'm so proud of what she's doing. She's doing some great things. So please share with us what you're doing.
Well, my name is Denise Jackson, and like what I call her Sister Cindy, Auntie Cindy. I've known her. I was in the 8th grade. Yeah, I think we moved to Jersey in 8th grade. I am now 41. I have a 20-year-old daughter. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yes. My gosh.
Ma'am. 8th grade, my father was in the military, so we moved around a lot, but we were there for 3 years, and we was under her tutelage, youth choir. She the one got me directing choirs and carrying on. So we have a strong okay. But now I am a hairstylist. I'm a cosmetologist, and now I'm a realtor as well. So I heads to home. You know what I mean? Whatever you need, and everything in between. All right. So I love to take care of people, both on the natural, and when you're doing things like that, you tend to tap into that inner part of the person. Okay. And now dealing with the homes, first time home owner, second time, third time, I don't care which one you is.
Right.
Let's get to a home.
That is so good. And some of the homes that you've been showing are beautiful. In Columbia, they are amazing. Yeah, and she does excellent with hair. Her mother was a hairstylist as well, and she looks just like her mother. I'm telling you, they have their whole family is entrepreneurs. So I couldn't get all of them on, but I said, let me get Denise.
Yes.
I thank God for her and what God is doing in her life. And Preshous Thompson, she's in Connecticut by way of Virginia. So share a little bit about what you're doing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Preshous Thompson, and yes, I'm born and raised in Hampton, Virginia, now living in Connecticut, and I absolutely love it. Everybody asks me that question all the time, but I'm honored to be among so much greatness. I mean, we got a lot going on here, and I love it. I am the owner of Tassel 15, where I make handmade accessories to bring that bold, stylish piece to your wardrobe. I started out in Virginia as being working in the school system. And then when I moved to Connecticut, before that, I was a caregiver of my mom. So Denise, I love to take care of people too. So I was a caregiver of my mom. When she passed, we were in Florida where I met my wonderful husband. I moved back to Virginia. And then he took care of his mom. So then all of us moved to Connecticut. I was a full-time caregiver then. And the Lord has definitely swapped my life around. So not only was I caregiver and then the owner of Tassel 15, he has recently blessed me with a travel business. So I now have Rehoboth Travel now that I could be a blessing to people, helping them to travel to see new places, and then style them in some accessories so they can look good while they're doing it.
Right.
But I love it because the space that God has me in, like, even though it is my business, it is really a part of my ministry too, just to be able to make women smile again because they go through so much. So I'm just excited. I love Connecticut. My family is thriving since we've been here. And I met Miss Cindy through my leader, Pastor Robin. And ever since we met, I mean, I've loved her down ever since.
Yeah. Wow. Just like having family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, each one of you are so unique in what you have, but you seem to have a love for people, and that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
What has inspired you to become an entrepreneur? I'll start with Denise. What inspired you to sell real estate and also to be a cosmetologist?
I believe it's just in my blood. Okay. My grandfather, grandmother, you know, they all had their own businesses. My grandfather had the first Black business in Savannah, Georgia. Shout out to Jackson Brothers. They've done away after the older ones passed on. They did away with it. But it's just having your own and being able to create your business from you. I just love the way that feels, and I love the way it looked when my grandparents and my father, who also is a man of many businesses.
Yes.
It's just something I learned over the time. And as I'm here right now in this real estate business, even growing my cosmetology business as an entrepreneur, it's hard work. Like who signs up for this? Who signs up for this? But if it's in your heart and God has given it to you, you got the grace to do it. And so I'm just thankful for being able to learn as I go along these, because hair, real estate, they don't add up.
Right. Opposites.
And what's crazy is, you know, my mom's a cosmetologist and my dad's a real. So I've done squeezed into both of them in me. So So it's just in me to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it really is. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. Wow.
And then when I went back to the 9 to 5, I said, oh no, y'all got too many rules. I got to go.
Yeah. We're gonna tap into that. We're gonna tap into that because that's true. And I'm hearing a lot of even prophets and pastors are saying, telling people to find a business to have on the side, a trade or something, to have something else on the side, another business. So this is really good. So we're going to talk some more about that. Minister Bernard, what inspired you to become a chef?
Yeah, so, you know, graduating high school, I graduated high school in 2004. So, you know, telling my age, just turned 40 in March. And they call me old head young boy because I'm older than all my friends, but I look the youngest. And so, you know, growing up in Philly, I came out of high school 2004. You know, Jim Saunders, he was a musician at our church in Philly for a long time.
Yeah.
And so he was working with for Newsome Music Education. And so he took me under his wing and we were teaching music for a year, and then Newsome Music closed down. And so I got into environmental services. I was doing the carpets at the Wachovia Center at the time, where the Sixers was. So I was doing the carpets for 2 years, and then the management there. Yes, he is. He preserving me. He preserving my youth. Amen. So, you know, I was doing carpet for 2 years, and there's some things was going on with management. So I left, and then I went to Spring Garden to the Aramark Staffing Center. It was a temp agency, and I got in there. I was with them for a month, and then I got hired out. And I worked from a prep cook to a cook, from a cook to a lead cook, from a lead cook to a sous chef, and then eventually executive chef. And I worked for the Philadelphia 76ers for 1 season. I cooked their meals before and after the game. They were, I was home based. So whenever they had away games, we had other concerts and shows and things like that. Right. And fast forward, you know, I started listening to Dr. Bill Winston and my pastor in early February 2018. And my eyes got enlightened. you know, because Dr. Winston, he is a faith teacher. He teaches faith, you know, how to have faith, how to have faith to manifest what God promised. And during that time, I recognized that I was going through the motions, you know. You can even probably say religious, you know, because I always been faithful. I grew up in church. Whenever those doors open, I was there. You know, whatever God was doing, I was there. I'm like, oh, we got service. I played drums faithfully for 19 years in Philly before I moved out here. And long story short, I started listening to Dr. Winston, and God used him to ignite my faith and take it to another level. And I started discovering, you know, I started getting revelation through God's word, and I started realizing how God created us to prosper. God, you know, we have an inheritance. There's more to our relationship with the Lord than just going through the motions or the formalities. You know, faithful, serving, great worship experiences, great preaching, but there's more to our relationship with the Lord. And so one of my favorite scriptures, Philippians 2:13, for God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. And the Lord began to give me a desire to be creative and to be innovative and to really use every gift that he put in me to use. That's good. To inspire others to do the same and to glorify him.
That's good. Really good. Precious, what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
From maybe about 6th grade, I used to braid hair. Cosmetology, like Denise, it runs in my family, my mom, my grandmother. And so I would braid hair as a young child, taught myself how to do it. And then growing up, I think it just made me happy to make somebody else feel happy and feel beautiful. So I did that for quite some time. And I had gotten into a car accident back in 2019. So that kind of took a toll on me. And I just couldn't, like, my body just couldn't take the long hours and different things like that. So fast forward to when did I get married? 21. Fast forward to 2021, I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this lady in a boutique, and she had some red tassels on. And I have this thing where if I feel like I can make it, I won't buy it. So I went to the store, got me some yarn, came back, and my mom, before she passed, that was something that we did together. She would make baskets, like she was on the hospitality committee for the church. And so when we had guest preachers and we had revivals, or when we did our street feeding ministry or different things like that, I was always right up under her wing, always creating and just watching the reaction and how that blessed everybody that she was able to give those things to. And so it just kind of was instilled in me. And so I went to the store, I got some yarn, made me a pair of earrings, and they were raggedy. Do you hear me? But I put those earrings on. I posted them on my Facebook just because I was proud of myself. And literally have been making earrings ever since. So I feel like it was already a love there for me. And I think that that was probably something that God was trying to show me, like it was already in me. But sometimes, like, I was always afraid to, like, step out and be creative because the people around me was I don't want to say they were playing, but they were afraid to, like, kind of like be themselves. I was kind of stuck in that box. So I started making my earrings, and I have not bought an earring from a store since 2021. And so just that yearning to just be a blessing to somebody else is really what drives my business. Because sometimes I probably give more earrings away than I sell, but that's just, I do it how God leads me. Because when I was braiding hair, and Denise can tell you, after years come, $100 and $100, and those prices go skyrocket, right? And people don't understand that your talent, when you're doing hair, that costs money, and you have to be able to bless the people that's laboring, right? But then you also have that set of people that sometimes they can't afford it. And I know me growing up, I was that set, and I could not afford it. My aunt had me in the kitchen, especially on Easter, with that hot comb burning all my neck and my ears. And so I understand the yearning to want to look beautiful, but don't have the money to be able to go to the hairdresser. So that was always been my drive, to bless the ones that want to look like they got a $5,000 hairdo, but can't afford it. And so that's what really drove me to really step out on faith. And the people that were inboxing me about that ugly red tassel that I made, and I just kept on going, and God perfected my gift. and I just went from a yarn tassel to making earrings out of clay. I will make an earring out of a zipper. Okay. If you give me a trash bag, I'm gonna make an earring. And I just asked God, God, just give me the vision. You gave me this business, so give me the vision. And that's the drive. And just to see the community smile again in such a dark world, that really pushes me. And I used to say when I was braiding hair that my hair chair was my pulpit. And so when somebody would sit in my chair, I would be able to, and just random conversation. I said, God, anytime, just open up the door that I can be able to encourage whoever I'm servicing. And I do the same thing with my earrings. I'll be at a vendor event or at church or at the mall. God, just open up that door that I can give somebody hope just because they complimented me on my earrings. And that is the drive that keeps me, because being an entrepreneur is not easy.
Yeah.
A lot of days you feel like a failure. A lot of days you're trying to keep up with social media and keep up with those things. But that's my drive. Like, that's what keeps me going, knowing that God gave me the vision. He blessed my hands, and I can't do it without him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of all of you are talking about the love that you have for doing it and for the people, you know, because you have to love people to be able to do what you do. That's for sure. Now, Denise, how did you get started in real estate and also as a hairdresser? I know you shared about because your mom was involved, but how did you get involved in real estate? What made you go that route?
Well, it's crazy story. I just have these thoughts sometimes that I could do things, and I just did it. I had a thought. I actually tried. Well, I went to school 2021, right during the COVID time, and I went to school, but I punked out. I didn't go take the test. And I was at home one day. You know, life makes you think sometimes, you know.
Yes.
Being on that 9 to 5 sometimes make you think. And so I was thinking one day after listening to a sermon, and I was just on the porch, and I looked at the beam on the porch, right? This is really how it happened. And the beam was a little crooked. And so I said, you know, my dad's a realtor. So I said, I wonder what my dad would say if he was on a tour with his family. You know, with a family looking for a house. And something so loud in my ear said, what would you say?
Really?
Yeah. It was like, what would you do?
Right.
I said, well, maybe I'll go to school. I'll go to real estate school. And then I went and I spoke to someone. I said, how you feel about, you know, what do you think about me going to school? Now they did cuss. I'm not going to cuss on this show. They said you will sell the heck out of houses. I said, that's all I hear. And signed up for school that week.
That's amazing.
Hair got a crazy story too.
Right seed.
Because you went to the real estate school and then you were still doing hair too.
Right. So when I started hair, I was 30 something years old when I started that. I never did hair. I always got my hair done. Okay. Because I had sisters and my mom, they do hair. You know, I don't have to do hair. I have a daughter. Never did her hair.
Right.
But one day, life lost my job down there at the bank. And so I'm sitting in the house, and something just said, do your child hair. And I was like, I don't do hair. But I did it. And I gave her 4 ponytails, and the parts were straight. And I said, I think I could do hair.
Really? Oh my God.
The parts matter. Parts matter, girl.
And I months later, my friend just opened up her salon, and I just went to go visit. You know, I ain't got no job, so I got free time.
Right.
I went to go visit her, and I never left her salon.
Really?
Still wasn't doing hair. I actually started as the person that cleaned up the salon. That was getting my little money because I couldn't get a job nowhere. So I was, you know, working around the salon, sweeping, cleaning combs, folding towels, and then it just went to a braider. Then I became a full-on cosmetologist. Now I'm a cosmetologist instructor. I teach too.
Love it.
That is amazing. Now let me ask you, Denise, what advice would you give someone in pursuing their first and purchasing their first home? What advice would you give a person that want to purchase their first home?
Well, don't think you can't, because a lot of people just don't think they can purchase a home. Because you hear, oh, I got to have the best credit. I got to have $3 million in the bank. You got to have some credit. and you got to have some money. But I tell all my clients, it's not where you are, it's where you're going to go, right? But you got to have a plan. And the way you get that plan is you sit in front of a lender and let that lender tell you what you need to do. They pull your credit and they tell you, okay, you want to buy a house? These are your steps. Do. And, if you in the surrounding areas or,
I know that's right.
If you know me, just reach out to me and I can help you. Okay.
That's right.
But the only advice I would tell somebody, if you want to do it, take the step. Take that step, leap of faith. Pray and ask the Lord, this is what I need to do. And then you go forward and just do it. It's not impossible. I've seen people with 400 credit score.
Yep.
They in your house.
Okay.
Really? Not saying their credit score is 400. They had to work on it to get it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you put the work in, you're gonna get where you need to be.
Right. Oh my God.
Don't be scared. Just do it.
Right. Just do it.
Just do it.
Now, what are some of the biggest mistakes buyers and sellers make? What are some of the biggest mistakes? One or two?
All right. Some of the biggest mistakes during the process, if you're buying a home, is creating new debt or going out buying a car, getting a credit card, using Klarna or Afterpay. All those things impact your credit. And so when they go to pull it or they checking on you, because throughout that time, after you've been pre-approved and you done found a house and all these things, they're looking, underwriting, all that good stuff. And if you go and do any of those things, you make a big deposit.
Right.
Where that money come from?
Yeah.
They're watching those things. Okay. So just don't do nothing until you ask somebody.
Right. Right. Do you ask somebody? Right. Yeah. Right. Now, what trends do you see shaping the real estate market? Have you noticed any trends?
Yeah. Some of the trends I see is people, I got two. People not buying because they think the interest rates are too high and they think they're going to drop. So they're just holding off. No.
Tell them.
No, because that interest rate could stay right there. They might, and it may not ever drop again. And it might go higher. Okay.
Right.
So if you're at a comfortable spot, your credit score is good. And then this other trend is the new home, the new construction. That's a big thing now. New construction. You know why? Because new construction knows those interest rates are high. But if you come with them and work with their lender, they'll give you 4.99 versus the 6 point whatever is going on now.
Right.
Okay. We'll give you $10,000 in closing costs, and we'll give you blinds. That's the big thing now.
Really?
Yes, new construction, at least here in my area.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions for Denise and each one of you, feel free to ask a couple of questions, and then she's going to give her information how you can get in touch with her after the show as well. Someone said, wow, people are really saying this is some good information they didn't know about. This is really good. Now, Bernard, as far as being a chef, what did you discover? When did you discover your passion for cooking?
So in 2008, I started in September 8th, 2008. I stepped away from being a carpet guy at the basketball stadium, and I went to Aramark Staffing Center on Broad and Spring Garden, a couple blocks back from Broad Street. And I got hired. They had a month. It was like a 4-week course. So you had 3 weeks in the classroom. The last week was on hands training. So they taught us safety and sanitation. They taught us time, temperature, danger zone, temperatures, all that good stuff when it comes to food and working in food service. And then after that, I got sent to Keystone Mercy Health Plan. I was at Joseph University. I was at all the, a lot of different areas throughout the city, but I got sent to Keystone Mercy Health Plan in Seneca County over by the Philadelphia International Airport. And they had a deli cook who eventually she passed away. She was dealing with some health complications. And so there at that time, he said, listen, I'm going to put you over in the deli for a week by yourself, see how you do. And then I'll follow up with you and give you a review. He put me in the deli, you know, I went over there. I guess I did my thing. And then he came back and was like, hey, we're going to hire you. And so they hired me. And starting out at Keystone Mercy Health Plan, long story short, that's where my passion for cooking ignited. You know, I've always watched my mom and other family members cook growing up. And so being there, watching the chef, seeing how he was cooking, you know, I learned nice skills there. I learned different cooking techniques there. I learned all about cooking there, you know, and then one day I'm like, man, I want a white hat, you know, I want a chef hat. And then that passion and that desire just ignited in me. And so I was with, so from September 2008 to July 2022, I went from food service into corporate fine dining into, you know, culinary. And July 2022 is when I stepped out on faith because my passion for ministry and music full time got stronger. You know, it became stronger in culinary. But you know, I had a moment where, you know, although I shifted to do some other things, God still wants to use the gift. And that's why I got back into the flow as well of culinary, you know, just creating content and launching another business when it comes to
Your videos are amazing. Your food looks really good. And he's a private chef as well. He's in Chicago. That's the only thing that the downside for me is he's in Chicago. I can't get there, you know, but he is. But I saw a pastor that's on here, Elder Gail Williams. She lives in Chicago. So that plug.
I appreciate it. The God for the glory. Yes, ma'am.
She's on here. She's from Chicago. What is your signature dish?
Well, I like to cook a lot of seafood and pasta. I love pasta dishes. I love making sauces. My wife told me all the time, she'd be like, yo, your sauces are fire. Like, I can't make a sauce. Like, your sauces is everything, you know? So I love, I love cooking pasta dishes, you know, like Alfredo, you know, just learning different cooking techniques, different ways of cooking, and just being creative in my own way. You know, once you learn how to cook or you learn how to, you know, use your gifts that God has given you, you start into the flow of how can I be uniquely me, you know, right? Instead of having a fit in mentality, instead of trying to duplicate others, you know, I'm gonna make this Alfredo sauce, but I'm gonna make it my way, you know, and my way where it's different, it's unique, it's flavorful. And then you also start getting into, you know, healthy options, you know, making better healthy eating decisions and learning how to adapt and to be able to meet different dietary needs, being able to, you know, create menus that are tailored to the needs of your clients and things like that. And so no matter what you do, you have to always be willing to learn because you have to be willing to learn, be creative, be innovative. So then that way, you can, the three things that I learned in culinary that I always tell people: adapt, improvise, and overcome. Those are things that can be applied to any area or any entrepreneur. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. You know,
I'm writing that down.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's like, you know, if I plan a menu one day and I'm planning out certain ingredients that I need, and then I come back and then I find out that kitchen doesn't have certain ingredients that I needed. Now I need to adapt. I need to figure out, okay, how can I adapt to this situation? What can I substitute? What do you have? You know, and so adapt and improvise, be creative, be innovative, and then execute, overcome. You know, get it done.
And someone asked, "Do you have a cookbook?"
It's in the progress. It's in process. Those things are coming. So what happened was I was in culinary from September 2008 to July 2022. In July 2022, I had 2022. I enrolled into the Joseph Business School. And so after we, God blessed me to launch By Faith We Go Ministry Incorporated and then Shop BFWG LLC.
Is that with Bill Winston? Pastor Bill Winston? Is that his school? Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the Joseph Business School because launching a nonprofit and then launching a for-profit, I recognized that there was a lot that I still needed to learn. And so I enrolled in Joseph Business School when it comes to, doing your 3-year financial projection, learning marketing, doing a feasibility study, doing your business plan, business pitch, competition presentations, all that stuff. How to make your business an official entity, how to establish your business, get your articles of incorporation, all that good stuff. So, coming out of the Joseph Business School when I graduated, I was on fire. I was like, man, I got a ministry, I got a business, I got projects. I'm like, I'm out here. I'm like, man, and I the Lord led me, the Holy Spirit led me to step out on faith. From my job, and I was on fire. So I'm like, we out. So I started in full-time ministry. God blessed me to publish 3 books so far. I've released 2 musical singles so far. I just finished writing my 4th and 5th book. I got some other music on the way out. But again, through the nonprofit, feeding families in need at local shelters every month, I knew that culinary was something that was resurfacing. So God took me to Peter, when you discover your true divine purpose from God. And so it's like Peter was a fisherman, and he was a fisherman to make money to take care of his wife and his family. But when he connected with Jesus, Jesus performs a miracle. He's like, follow me, I'll make you a fisher of men. So he was always destined to be a fisherman, but he didn't know what his true purpose was until he connected with Christ. And that's kind of the moment that I had with the Lord as well. It's like I was in culinary for years, cooking, making, taking care of my family, but God revealed His true divine purpose for me. Like, I want to use that gift. Like, don't just set it on the back burner. Don't forget about it. Don't walk away from it. You can still do those other things, but what is God calling you to do specifically in this? We got many aspirations, many gifts, many things, many goals, many things that we want to do. But what is God calling us to do specifically? Lord, He reignited that thing in me and said, I still want that cooking gift, because there are people out there who have needs. And everything we do, as Miss Preshous said, it's a ministry. God can use it for
So are you getting foods from another company? That because I didn't know you said nonprofit and feeding the homeless. Where do you get your food from? So
people donate towards the nonprofit, and we take that money and we go to Sam's Club. So here's how we started. So the Lord gave me a vision to start feeding families in need. So what I did was I started reaching out to local family shelters in the area to see how we can come together to collaborate and partner to work together to feed families. When I connected with this one shelter in our area, they have a calendar, right? They have the calendar for the whole year. There are other ministries and organizations. We come together to make sure the entire calendar is booked for the whole year for these families. So we make sure that these families have breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day of the month, every month of the year. So they send out the calendar, we fill it up, we take days every single month throughout that calendar year to make sure that we show up on those days to feed those families. Long story short, connecting with the shelter, I found out that a lot of other organizations and or ministries, they will order food and get it delivered, or they will go order food, pick it up, and drop it off. So this is how God works, right? So I'm like, okay, we're going to feed families in need every single month. And the shelter tells us, hey, you can order food, get it delivered. You don't have to stay. You don't have to serve. Just make sure the food is there for the families. So we said, okay. But me being me, having a serving heart, I'm like, no, I want to serve, right? And then, always taking advantage of ministry moments. I'm like, man, this is a ministry moment. Because if I stay and if I serve, then I can minister. Then we can pray for them, right? So, then I recognize, long story short, I just recognize how a lot of the other organizations, they were ordering pizza. They were ordering sandwiches. they were just ordering a lot of the same stuff, and the families were getting tired of it. It was a blessing. They were getting tired of it. So I'm like, you know what? I have a gift. And that's where the Lord brought it to my attention. I'm like, I have a gift. I'm going to cook these meals for them. So every single month, we take that money, we go to Sam's Club, we buy stuff, I bring it here, I cook it, and then we take it there and we serve. So I've done rotisserie chicken, I've done pasta, I've done all different type of meals. And so now they like, when my Faith Be Good coming? When is his next day?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I want to give them a good home cooked meal.
Yeah.
Love and compassion, something that they can really appreciate because they're going through a tough time.
Yeah. Because a lot of times people just give them anything, not really take the time to really cook a meal for them. Now, Precious, what makes your collection unique?
It's made by me.
Okay.
Right. And not, I'm confident in God when I say that. Because I honestly can be sleeping or trying to fall asleep, and the Lord will show me like a material or show me a creation, and I would get right up out the bed and I would come down into my shop and I would create it. Or if I'm riding down the road, it's like something would stand out to me, and that's just really how my creations come about. So I really wish that I can give my credit to something else, but I can't. But I really, really, really want to say this because we have some phenomenal entrepreneurs on here. And I know that there are a lot of people listening, and even if they do the playback, sometimes I'm gonna just say it like this: just do it, okay? If you have an idea, if God gave you a vision, do it, okay? And I'm gonna use me for an example. I didn't have all the materials, okay?
Right.
I didn't have packaging. I didn't have a business card. I had yarn and some fish hooks, right? But I knew that God gave me the vision. So I started because I believe what God gave me. And each time that I kept on one foot after another, God began to add on. God began to bless my gift. God began to cultivate more ideas, sharpen my skills. And listening to everybody, it's just like everybody's start was so phenomenal, and it was just so out of the blue. It was just like that back and forth. And I just want to encourage people, because sometimes, especially in society, we think that we have to have everything all the way together to a T to be able to start what God told us to do. But sometimes that's our hindrance. Sometimes we just need to start it and let God lead us as we go. And the reason why I say that is because I started out with just a random tassel earring, right? And I'm gonna tell you something that happened. So I was working full time when I started Tassel 15 on a fold up table in our 2-bedroom apartment, right? God blessed us. We moved into a townhome. He expanded my space, right? So now I got a 4-foot table, right? Now I can hold more yarn. Now I can make more inventory. Then God truly, truly blessed me. When we moved to Connecticut, my husband presented me with the opportunity to work my business full time, not clocking into anybody's clock, to see exactly what God could do for Tassel 15, right? And so we've been in Connecticut a little over 2 years. I recently, 3 months ago, just went back to work, right? And it's still a blessing in that. God showed me in that time that I was trying to make Tassel 15 something that it was not, right? And so when Bernard was talking about the purpose, if you have a business, do the business the way God say do the business. Do not veer from the vision that God gave you. And the reason why I say that is because when I moved to Connecticut, all things work together. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. I moved to Connecticut, and one of my close friends I've known for years, she helped me to rebrand, right? And as I was rebranding and I was getting all the feedback from social media and all of my friends, my whole mindset started to shift, right? So now I'm thinking like I'm about to have me a whole brick and mortar, right? So now my focus was, I got to drive this, I got to be on social media, I got to do this and I got to do that. And I completely lost the focus and the purpose that God gave me for Tassel 15, right? So I began trying to like keep up with everything, keep up with all the fads, keep up with all the trends, posting 14 times a day to get my algorithm. My focus was no longer what God gave me. It was about trying to build something that he never told me Tassel 15 was going to be. You got to stick to the focus and the purpose that God gave it for it to last. And the reason why I say that is because I got so burnt out trying to keep up with everything that when I say not only that my whole body shut completely down. I had no motivation to create. I couldn't think of a creation to make. I had no desire to do what God gave me because my focus shifted from just being a blessing and using it as the platform that God intended for it to be, to trying to be a $5 billion or whatever the case may be name. That's not what God gave me chapter 15. God gave me chapter 15 to be a blessing. And then I said, well, God, I do want to make some money. Jesus. I would like to, I would like to, have something come back, you know what I mean? And so when I finally went through that burnout season and realized, Preshous, this ain't gonna work if you keep on doing it, right? I didn't automatically go back to creating. I refocused my mind and started to pray, God, get me back to where I'm supposed to be. Get me back to where you placed me with my business. As he did that, then he opened up the platform where he said, teach classes so people can learn how to make the earring. Open up a whole avenue of profit for my business because I align myself back under his will with my business. And I say that because now I'm doing, you know how you have like your painting sets and different things? I have what you call the personal touch. So if you have a bridal shower, birthday party, a women's ministry, and you want to have an activity, then I can come in and I set up a fabric bar. And you make 2 or 3 pair of earrings when you walk out the door. And these are the things that God gave me because I aligned myself back up with the will and the purpose that he had for my business. So anybody that's listening that has a business, start the business. God is going to grow you as he grows the business. When Bernard was talking about being a 504, how you say it, Bernard?
C3.
That when he just said, when he was talking about that, but that has always been my desire because I want to bless the community, right? And so God took me through that season of pressure. You gotta believe in me. You gotta trust me, and you just gotta follow me. I went through that season. Now God has got me sturdy, so now I can focus on the logistics of it because he knows that I'm gonna stick with him now. You know what I'm saying? But I had to go through that because he couldn't trust me before. Obviously, I was burnt out and couldn't even make anything. So I just wanted to get that out that you gotta stay true to what God has planned for your life. Not even just in your business, just in your spiritual walk, just in your natural, like everything. Stay aligned because that's where your blessing is going to be. And when Denise was talking about being a real estate agent, I have a whole travel business. I have not traveled anywhere. I've never been to Atlanta. I just went to New York for the first time. And I have a travel business. What am I going to tell somebody about traveling? Nothing. But God gave it to me, not only to be a blessing to somebody else, but he also gave it to me so that it could be a blessing to me.
Yeah.
So that he can be able to start that road, so I can be able to see things that I've always prayed for. So I'm telling y'all, you got to be like Nike, okay? You got to just do it. You got to go with God, and he is going to bless you, and you can still make money and blessing the people. So yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Now, Denise, if you could start over, what would you do different?
Come on,
your businesses. What would you do differently?
Oh, I would take heed to wise counseling. We go to these classes, we go to workshops to learn, right? And I would go to them and pay for them, but I never implemented anything I learned. I just go to them, spending money for no reason. But now, I guess old age kind of set in, and I'm learning that wisdom is good. Okay.
Yeah.
The things my dad used to try to instill in me back when I was 20, high school, about saving and your 401k, your high yield savings account, all those things. I just really wish I would have listened to my dad, but because I didn't, okay,
right,
here I am. But being in real estate, everything my dad has tried to teach me, I am now you happen to do it and implement it. And so even with real estate being, some people think it's a, get rich quick thing. It's not. That's for sure. Okay. I've been at this since October. Well, I got my license in January. So January to now. Okay. All right. All right. Thank God for cosmetology. Thank God for doing hair. Cause all right. You get what I'm saying. So it's those things, but God also said he's going to catapult me, and when it comes, it's going to come. And so all those years that I did not listen to daddy, okay, now I got the wisdom, and I got my heart's in the right place, my mind is in the right place. I'm set up a little differently, okay. All those years I could have had that. It's just going to come now, when it comes,
when it comes,
and when it comes, and I got to steward well. So if I had to start all over, I will teach myself to steward well over the things, over the wisdom that has been instilled into me. If it's financial blessings that and I've come across some money. Right.
Hello?
I've come across it. Okay. Money's supposed to be mine. All right. But during that time, I didn't know how to steward that thing. Right.
Right.
So and my mindset has changed. I look at myself, who talking about? That's you? Yeah. That's me. Boo.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself.
It's
changed. And so just stewarding well over this. This is my what was the question say? If I had to start all over.
Yeah.
Steward well.
What would you do different?
Steward well.
Steward
well over your blessings, whatever. Like I said, the wisdom that people pour into you.
Yeah. Now let me ask you another question. What marketing strategy has been most effective for your businesses?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, for real estate, it just has to be me, because it's just people that I know coming to me and want to work with me. Yeah, I may have one person that came to me through a referral out of state, just one, but everybody else it's not even people off social media yet that has tapped in. It's just people around me, like they just believe, and so I gotta give them something to believe in,
Yeah, that's true.
So, but my marketing strategy that I do videos, and I tend to I'm not a $1 million real estate agent yet, right?
Right.
But I act like I am. Okay, so I go to these $1 million listings and do videos, and because one day it's not going to be in vain. Okay,
I know that's right.
You have to. I've learned that you have to, where you want to go to it. Yeah. You want to be this, you want to be like a jewelry maker, the top jewelry maker. I don't know what God has lined up. I like how you said that too. How God lined up. It may not be that.
Right.
But it's close. So don't you worry about it.
Okay. So I go to it. I go to these $1 million open houses and walk in there like I have $1 million clients behind me.
Really? That's good.
Yes.
So good.
And I walk it like I have my bag on my arm.
Hello.
Right.
Yes.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta take all.
I use that. I use that as my marketing, and people love those videos of those big old houses. That I get more traction with those than anything. So
really, that's amazing. That is really good. You guys have shared so many good nuggets, and people are really, really enjoying this. How can someone connect with each one of you? I don't know if you're able to type it in there, but how can they connect? Denise, how can they connect with you?
Well, if you're on Facebook, we're all on Facebook right now. That name that's on that little banner, Denise N. Jackson. That's me. Denise N. Jackson. And she's that on TikTok.
Yeah.
And what is it? YouTube?
Instagram.
Instagram's a little different, but I could put that in the chat.
Right.
It's NISSI. _ Oh yeah, I could do what he did right there.
Right. Just type it in there.
This thing. Wow.
I don't know if they can see it.
At the headline, yeah, here it go. Ooh, look at y'all. Okay. Facebook.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Precious put hers.
Look at us. Ooh, wee.
Y'all can type and I can post it on the screen.
Yep. And then
now, Precious, what is a little bit of advice you would give to someone that's listening as we close? What advice would you give to someone that's listening that may want to get into doing the jewelry, or not sure if they can even design a little piece of yarn, or what advice would you give them?
Call me. I'm gonna put my number in the chat.
Okay.
And the reason, no, honestly, if that is a desire of yours to make an accessory, to make jewelry, to upcycle, to customize, it all starts with what you love. It all, because what you create, you may not like it, but it's for somebody else. You have to think broad, you have to think wide, and don't limit yourself. But if you have a desire that you want to create anything and you feel like you don't have the tools to do it, you don't have the knowledge, contact me. And I will give you everything that I know to help you start, or to give you tools to be able to pick which tool you want to use. It may be yarn, it may be fabric, you may want to paint. Just contact me, because I believe what God gave me is not just for me. It's always to help somebody else, so that they can help somebody else and they can help somebody else, because that's what it's all about.
That's good. And Bernard, the same question. What advice would you give someone that was interested in being a chef?
I tell everybody, stay focused, be great, be bold, be fearless, and know that you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. Never compare yourself. Know who you are, love who you are, embrace who you are. Even as a believer, know who you are, know whose you are, and know what you carry. You're a child of God, you belong to God, you carry the Spirit of God. And so never allow yourself to have a fit-in mentality. Be uniquely who you are, who God created you to be. Don't ever compare yourself to other people. You literally have to take ownership of who you are and where you are, and what God called you to do and where He wants you to be. Trying to fit in or be like other people, it can be exhausting. And find yourself being caught up in a cycle. My wife is on, she's putting stuff in the comments. You really just have to take ownership. And like Precious has been saying all night, just do it. You got to move by faith, right? You believe God for a house, go put your foot in it, because everywhere the soul put your tread, He'll give it to you, right? Joshua 3. Go look at the house. You believe God for a car, go sit in it. Test drive.
Yeah.
I tell y'all, I became so adventurous in my relationship with the Lord that I look crazy a lot in these days and times. God is glorified. There's a property that I want, and I scheduled a walkthrough just because I wanted to put my foot on it, because I'm a doer of the Word of God. And I put oil on my hand, and I was touching doorknobs and walls. And realtor, he shook my hand. I said, he don't even know. He just got blessed.
Right. All right now.
Adventurous, you have to move by faith. God will always meet your faith with His power. I'll say it just very quickly. When I published my first book in November 2020, February 2020, during the pandemic, I met with my publisher. I had a publisher at the time. She told me that my publishing fees was a little over $5,000. So somebody told me, they said, listen, you ain't got the money, you shouldn't do it, let it go. So I said, no, I laid it on my heart to publish this book got to get out. Called my publisher. I said, listen, I'm gonna put a down payment of $400, and then I'm gonna pay $300 a month so I can pay it off. She said, you keep paying, we keep working. You stop paying, we stop working. Simple. I said, bet. I put that $400 down. That was my faith move. God will always honor your faith move. I put that $400 down. 2 weeks later, I got an unexpected check in the mail for $2,500. So then another week later, we were in an apartment at the time. I'm in the apartment. The Holy Ghost said, call your sister. I said, all right, it's my sister. I'm gonna call her tomorrow. The Holy Ghost said, call your sister. So I called my sister. My sister, how your project going? I said, it's going well. She said, all right, what's your PayPal? So, it's my sister. I'm like, man, she gonna send me, bless little bro with, some lunch money or something, and I got a notification. It was $1,000. I said, oh, wow. And then another week later, somebody else gave me some money. And then it was 2 weeks before my book was supposed to be released. And somebody called me. I had a balance of $900 and some change. And they said, the Lord told me to pay off your balance. And they asked me, they said, we want you to pay it back. And I said, that's fine. I'll pay you back. I was just happy that the book was coming out. But they said, the Lord told me to pay off your balance so that your book can get out on time. And so when you move by faith, God will always honor your faith move. And just like with the issue of blood, he'll meet your faith with his power. So just do it. Move by faith, trust God, and know that he got you.
And everybody, all y'all said tonight, just do it. The house, just do it. Get your credit together. She said you don't have to have a big score.
Start somewhere.
Just do it. Just do it. Everybody's saying just do it. The jewelry, just do it. So this was a blessing tonight. I want to really thank you all for being on my show on Real Talk, your first time here. And I hope it won't be your last. I hope to be able to have you guys come back again. And I'm sure you may have another business. Denise may have another one. Preshous, Bernard, y'all may have other businesses. And it's good to share with everybody, because I think it's important that we share with others and help other people. And like Denise was saying, how the information, even she didn't like what her father was telling her in the beginning, didn't really listen. But now, like she said, listen to wisdom. And a lot of people, that's what they don't do, is listen to wisdom. So this has been enjoyable, and I hope you all will come back. And I want to thank everyone that is watching and that will watch the replay. And we look forward to seeing you all again on Real Talk with Cindy. Continue to pray for Real Talk with Cindy, and we'll continue to bring on more guests, and continue to pray for these guests that's on tonight, that God will continue to use them, and that Denise will get that $1 million.
Yes.
She'll be able, someone will buy one, not just one, buy several, because she's walking in it by faith. And Precious with her business, and Bernard with his business. He also comes to your house, and he'll cook for you there.
I'm available.
For Valentine's and anniversaries, you probably do well.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I'm available for travel. And like Miss Precious say, be open. Be open. Focus on the purpose and not just the come up. God will handle the come up, but we focus on the purpose. I'll tell you this, I'm not going to be long, I promise. I went to a school. I got a call, somebody, because I have a custom t-shirt and apparel printing business. I got a phone call saying, hey, I'm a vendor at this school event. Come out. I want you to be a vendor as well. I was dealing with some financial challenges. So I'm like, bet, I'm out. Right. So I racked up t-shirts, books, hoodies. I racked up on everything. And I'm like, man, I'm about to go get these kids lunch money. I'm about to rack up. Right. I was like, Lord, you made a way. I'm on my way. I'm about to sell everything. I got there, found out they wanted vendors, but it was not about selling anything. It was about the kids coming to ask us questions about our businesses and our careers.
Oh, yeah.
Help them with their career, with their future career choices.
Right.
I got there. Everything that I thought I was going to sell, I gave it away. All of it.
Yeah.
So it's really about the purpose, and God will
have
everything else.
It really is. It is. And you got to stay. Like she said, it's highs and lows with businesses. Sometimes you make the money and sometimes you don't. Then sometimes it'll come back in a bigger way.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys for sharing everything on tonight. And I'm looking forward to have you on again. Someone else says, yes, they are all amazing. Minister Bernard, will you come to South Carolina?
I sure will. I am available for travel. So having this culinary business, I am available for travel. So feel free to connect. Have all the information you need. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Thank God. Well, y'all have a good evening.
Coming to South Carolina, because that's where I'm at.
Right. Absolutely. He need to get with your mother with those wings. Her mother has a phone truck.
Listen, Mrs. Cindy, probably tomorrow. I literally, an hour and a half before this live, I just recorded a content video cooking chicken wings.
Really? Oh wow!
I'm waiting for the cookbook, please, kind sir.
I got you.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really good. So you all have an amazing night, and we will see you again.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talk with Cindy Barber. We truly hope tonight's conversation has left you feeling informed, inspired, and empowered to take on whatever comes your way. If you'd like to stay connected, you can follow Cindy on Instagram at CindyRBarber04. Email her at ms.cindybarber@gmail.com or subscribe to her YouTube channel at Cindy Barber for more powerful conversations and updates. Have an event you'd like to promote? Partner with Real Talk with Cindy Barber and let your voice be heard. Cindy is already looking forward to having you join her next week for another engaging, uplifting, and thought-provoking discussion right here on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Until then, take care, stay inspired, and have a wonderful evening.
I'm gonna wait.